What's going on, guys? Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm here with media guy Doug. Today we're doing another gun comparison between the Field 1 Force and the Dye M3 Plus. I've got the Field 1 Force in front of me, and Doug has the M3 Plus.
You guys know how I feel about Dye, but I'm going to do my best to give a very objective review against the Force. If you guys like this video, definitely leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here. I will put links in the description for either one of these markers. Feel free to grab them at your leisure. We'll catch you after the intro.
Alright guys, let's get right into this, starting with the packaging as always. This is exactly how the Field 1 Force comes from us, from the factory as well. So you got the nice box here, or looks nice box.
They do get blemished a little easily from being shipped from Field 1.
Like even this one shipped from us has a little bit of a tear, but I mean it's just a box.
Shipped to us, Keegan, not from us. We don't know.
Shipped to us from Field 1 has a little bit of a tear. We've seen it before. Some of them are worse than others. If they do have really bad tears or anything, we always try to make sure to get you a new box just so it's not completely destroyed. It's not that
big of a deal. It's the box.
Yeah, it's just the box that it comes in. The case is more important.
Right. So outer packaging for the Dye M3 Plus. No real box or anything, just this kind of like paper cardboard-ish sleeve. There is a cardboard box for your charging pad, for your wireless charging pad, but beyond that, it's pretty much just a gateway right to the actual case for the gun itself. Yeah. So I will go ahead and just slip her out there.
Go ahead and take out that charger too. Big part of the gun there.
You want to take it out of the box?
Nah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I would be able to get it back in.
We'll leave it.
Yeah. So I guess starting with the Field 1, got this really nice case here. This is actually probably one of my favorite cases that comes with a gun in general. It's a very well made case. It has a place for your player ID. You have like all the logoing around it. You have like a really nice front logo.
Yeah, that's well done.
I really like this case, if I'm being honest. Like this is something that I would buy for my CS2.
There's a lot of thought that went into that.
Yeah, it has really heavy duty zippers. Getting into it, just showing you the case right now, not what it comes with. You've got place for all of your barrels and accessories here. That's real nice. You have on this side, you have actually this Velcro piece that you can or can't use depending on if you want to or not. Has more place for barrels, stuff like that. And then you have the marker case. The thing that I do really like about this is the fact that you can use any marker with it because it just has these Velcro straps that holds down the marker. Doug, what's the case like for the M3?
The case situation for the M3 is a little bit less extravagant than that of the Field 1 Force. However, it is still pretty good. So you get 4 barrel slots here. One of them is in fact the barrel tip. They give you 2 backs with it, and you get all these other spaces here for like parts and charging things. You have little slips here for your startup guide, for your warranty card, and then that is just very thin, very lightweight. It's really just meant to kind of divide the two sides and keep things from scratching each other. Then here is the side for your gun with your tool and with your barrel cover as well. So again, and your lube as well. Pretty minimalistic. They definitely tried to condense and probably not take up a lot of space in your gear bag with this case, but just like the Field 1, it is also very hard case, very protective. I definitely would have to give it to the Field 1 though, over as far as casing and packaging, over the Dye M3. Now, stuff that comes with the Force, in this real nice amount of lube, like I said in a previous video, this is a really generous amount of lube, honestly, and I really like that. Way more than the Dye. It's a little, that's not great.
You have your tackle box here full of, you got a sticker and you also got a manual for which O-ring is which. You got some Allen keys. Let's see, what Allen keys does the Dye marker come with?
Comes with the new...
Oh.
The new Dye multi-tool.
Comes with the new Dye multi-tool. I did not know that. That's a new thing that they just started doing. This just comes with a few Allen keys, so... I mean, honestly...
Dye multi-tool? Come on.
Well, actually, we have the same amount of Allen keys because there's only 4 Allen keys on that new Dye multi-tool.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you're right.
And there's 4 Allen keys in here. You got all your extra screws, O-rings, stuff like that.
Wait a minute, Keegan. I have 5.
You have 5?
Uh-huh. This bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ah.
Get wrecked. He's verifying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5 on there.
Ha! I can count.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I got a Phillips head screwdriver. I get this like other wrench-looking thing. I still give it to the die multi-tool. I will say the old multi-tool was better than whatever this is, but this is still going to take the cake over the Allen screws, or Allen keys and stuff for the Force. Parts kit, it's pretty good. It's just not as big and robust as the tackle box, but die parts kit, color-coded, which is also nice.
Startup guide for the Field 1, very simple, laminated startup guide, so nothing super special.
Startup guide
How
over here.
many did they put in here?
You know what?
Startup guide for the Field 1.
A lot of info, man. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. Warranty card, also startup guide, also laminated and good and wobbly, just like that of the Field 1. I would say that's, I want to say it's kind of a tie, but I don't know. Given all the information that Field 1 gave you, you might have like an actual novel to read in there.
Seems like it. So, got your barrel slots. We'll get into the barrel here in a bit. It comes with a shoulder strap for the case.
To make it a man purse?
Yeah, Merce. That's right. So this is kind of just a cool touch that they added. Got your barrel cover, of course. Nice Field 1 design. Got your tech card. This kind of shows you like who teched it, what it was chronoing at when it left, signature, everything like that. Got a sticker, and then something that I find really cool, given that it's Dynasty, threw in their player card. In here, it shows their birthday, their height, nickname, everything like that. Years pro. That's actually 7 years for Blake Yarber.
That's it?
Yeah. Front side, or front D side, joined Dynasty in 2017, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So, previous teams, everything like that. He was on ML Kings.
That's where you got to start.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, just so that I'm not remiss, I also forgot to point out that you, on this side, in like next to your O-rings here, is where you get your USB charger for your gun. It also connects to your Moss Air, your charging pad.
Yeah.
We'll put all this back here in the case.
So, that's everything that you get with both of the markers. You got your barrel cover there. So I guess let's start with the barrel, as always. The Field 1 Force barrel that you have on it is going to be the AccuLock barrel system. Like I said before, this barrel system is meant to lock your insert into place. So slide in just like that. It is tight the first few times, twist and lock just like that, and then throw your front on, locks it into place just like that. That insert isn't going anywhere.
It definitely locks in pretty tight. And the thing with the AccuLock is that they try to argue it's better for your, by the way, comparing to insert-based barrel systems. Obviously, a whole two-piece barrel, not quite the same comparison, but they like to claim that because the insert itself is what screws into your gun, there's going to be less variance from shot to shot. Because like with the Freak barrel, they try to argue that it's not going to twist and turn while you shoot. Might just be a claim that they make, but nonetheless, the barrel is cool. I think the engineering behind it is neat. The Die UL barrel is a classic. People have loved these things forever. So, and I believe that they lengthened their control bores, it looks like.
Yeah.
To kind of go with the trend of like the Freak XL and all these other ones. You get 2 barrel backs, as you do with the Force as well.
Yep.
8.4, and this one, Keegan, does not have, is it an 8.8?
So all die barrel backs are 8.8s if they don't have marking on them.
Gotcha.
With this, you have an 8.3 and then a 9.1, kind of odd sizes to
really
add
weird
in.
sizes,
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they decided those 2 sizes, but you can get barrel kits for this marker. You actually can't get a barrel kit for the die.
Yeah, you have to just buy the backs.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, the die barrels have been popular forever. They also thinned out the tip of the of these barrels as well,
which is good.
People love and hate. I think it was a good thing, but I think Nick preferred the old one with the chunk at the end. But anyway, so that's the barrel. Pretty simplistic, pretty straightforward, popular barrel. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. So next up, I guess we'll jump right to the feed neck on the marker. Feed necks are going to be very similar. On this one, you have the lever with the thumb wheel, which is standard against any of the high-end markers. Just real simple. Same thing with the die.
Likewise here, lever, thumb wheel. Nothing too special there. I would say the die one is much more low profile though.
I agree.
Like by a lot. So that's that to me that's definitely a selling point. Mind you, let's also keep in mind these guns are I think the same price, $15.50 for the Force.
$15.50, and you're looking at about $1,600 for the die.
Okay, so a $50 difference.
Varies. I mean, between the two, it varies depending on what color you're looking for.
But either way, these guns are both priced in that premium level price point.
Yes.
For paintball guns. That is something I'm going to be referring to a lot in my arguments for which is better. But anyway, getting back to the issue at hand.
So feed necks are roughly the same. I guess
Lower
eyes.
profile. Eyes. So you still have an eye pipe in this bad boy. So the eyes are definitely way inside. If you actually wanted to service the eyes themselves, this is intended to make that maintenance a lot easier. You just pull this out, clean it, put it back in, and you're good to go. It also has your detents in here as well. So I'm going to call that toolless.
Yep. On the Force, unfortunately, given that it is a high-end marker, it doesn't have toolless eye covers. You still need an Allen key to get it off, and you can wipe those down on the inside, or you can just do the strategy of barrel squeegee straight through the center of the gun, which a lot of us tend to do.
It's just quick. It's quick to do that.
Yeah. For the price point that it came in at, it should have had toolless eye covers.
That's the thing, is it's in that premium price range, which is the same as obviously this Dye M3, and right off the bat we already have a lower profile feed neck, toolless eye servicing abilities.
Bolt system. I guess let's go to.
Sorry, I'm just gonna put this back. It won't go in right now.
Doug can't.
So much for ease. Well, I'm actually an owner of a Rise from a previous sponsorship, and I've never really had issues with that.
Over here struggling to get the bolt out.
Yeah, dude. I don't mess with dye too much. Holy shit. That was bad.
So, as you can see, first couple times that you take that bolt system out of the gun, it is
tight,
very tight.
Those are very tight tolerances.
Bolt systems operate, I don't want to say the same, because they don't, but like ease of maintenance on them, I'm gonna probably have to give it to Dye. Yes, so there are more pieces. However, it is completely toolless versus.
Yeah, you can actually get it apart without sticking it in a vice grip.
Yeah, it is stated that the Force, given that it is using the old VCOM kind of pillow tip bolt, you are technically required to have vice grips to hold on here. So it's unfortunate that they did that. Kind of seems outdated. They should have changed that when engineering this gun, and they didn't. But bolt systems, so that one is going to feel kind of poofy.
Yeah, Dye is notorious for a very poofy kind of slack shot, if you will.
Yeah, versus the nucleus bolt is a very...
It's the opposite, it's poppy.
Yeah, it's a very poppy shot for being a spool valve. Now, they did try to take a completely different take on the spool valve in engineering this gun, which I like. And I honestly like more of a poppy shot like this. It reminds me, it's closer to like a CS2 than it is for that, but I'd say poppier than a CS2.
Oh, for sure.
So bolt system, it's kind of a toss-up just between which one you prefer more.
Yes.
However, if you're looking for ease of maintenance,
I would give it to the M3.
M3 definitely has it.
So there's bolts. Talk about trigger?
Yeah.
Or you want to go grips?
There we go. So trigger, on this you're gonna have the deuce trigger.
On the Dye, it's, I forget, this is just kind of their stock trigger. It's like
Billy Wing trigger.
This is the Billy Wing. I hate this trigger. I hate the way this trigger feels. I would actually give the trigger to the Force.
Yeah.
It's a super tight, super sticky, and it's basically, if you look at it, it's a reverse deuce. Because like, and I just, the whole point of a deuce, Keegan, if I may see your gun for just a moment. Well, the whole point of a deuce is that like naturally the way your hand sits, like look at which finger is further forward. It's your middle finger. It's your finger that's underneath. So the whole point of a deuce is to match that nicely, so you're not doing all this extra work. Whereas with the Dye, it's the direct opposite. Like you just end up tapping the top a lot. I don't know. I really dislike this trigger and the way it feels. But
yeah.
That's so far the only real point that I'll give to the
Surprisingly,
Force.
I actually do like the triggers on those.
You do. You've said that multiple times in the shop, and I don't understand.
Yeah, surprisingly, I do like them. However, I'm going to give it to the Force personally because I've had a G6R. It's that same deuce that's on the G6R, and it just feels so good. It has the same feeling in the hand, and overall just hits a soft spot in my heart. So,
oh, he's sentimental.
Yeah, so I love them. Trigger frame, outdated,
especially versus the UL grip frame. I mean, like that hourglass figure. Look at her. Yeah. Look at that. The UL grip frame is known for being extremely comfortable, and I can definitely attest to that. It just, you got something to hold on to down here, and not a lot of BS up top. That's kind of what you want. So I will absolutely give it that. Now I would also like to talk about overall feel, like including the foregrip for holding on to these bad boys. I gotta give it to the Dye. It's got actual grip to hold on to. It's not going to slide out of my hand. It's rounded, so it fits your hand well. Versus the Force, man, I don't know. It's so blocky and just like doesn't naturally fit any hands.
I like it, and here's why. You don't need a grip here. When are you going to be running with your gun like this? You're running with your gun like this.
Stable shooting platform.
So you don't need a grip here to hold on. And when are you ever going to actually have problems where you're like, oh, the recoil was too much. It slid out of my hands.
With that thing, you might.
No, because it's so heavy that you won't have that problem. So I don't understand why Doug is so against this. It feels good in the hands. It's way different than any other gun. Plus, you can adjust the front grip. If you like something more of a feel of like the Mini GS, you can just adjust this and it feels closer to a Mini GS. However, overall feel, solid, quality, feels great. And so I'm a huge fan of it. The one thing that I will say, they use the same frame from the VCOM, but that gun feels good.
Yeah,
the back half of it feels really good. So
in all reality, Keegan, like even though like sure like the Dye UL frame to me feels better, we could actually argue the same. This frame has been around forever.
Yeah.
They haven't changed this, my God, since like the rail back like when I'm not the biggest Dye knowledgeable person, but the early DMs have had this frame and the old proto rails and the Rise. This has not changed. This is the only part that has really changed, but even still, this has been the same since the M2. They made this thing like an inch or half an inch longer than the M2. Otherwise, it's the same feeling gun, same platform, all that nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's also outdated, but still feels good. It feels a little better than that. But again,
huge thing. There's kind of a few points to make. Grips on the back, these are not toolless. They should have been. They are toolless on the Dye. They are hard to get off on the M3. However, they are toolless. The other thing, the board on these is just the same board. I mean, my like 2K12 G6R had the same board. So the board on these is kind of just outdated. They need to update them and throw in like a new OLED board.
Yeah, whereas here you can see all of these different stats. I know they're pretty customizable as well. You can plug these into your computer, do a lot of cool things to them.
Put a picture on it.
You can. Can you give it a voice too, Keegan?
I don't believe so. It doesn't have a speaker.
Gotcha.
Next thing, ASA.
Even though it beeped.
On these, I'm honestly not sure. ASA, Pops ASA on the M3 Plus, which is huge plus.
Pops is planning. This is the Slaps ASA for trademarking, but
same thing.
I actually think it's nice. I actually think this was a good update for Dye because they got a lot of flack for having the that plastic turn knob on a $1,500 gun.
Yeah.
No, the Slaps is definitely a long time coming, and I believe it can retrofit back to most of the M series guns.
A lot of them.
Yeah, not all of them, but you can retrofit them to quite a few. So that's definitely a huge plus because Keegan himself had earlier said when he was using his old VCOM that had this same kind of twist knob. I'm sorry, G6R. But he dove into some bunker and actually twisted it and turned his air off, right?
Yeah. So it's a cool design here and it looks really good, but practicality wise, I would have gone with something else on a new marker.
I don't even think it looks good. It's just this weird little tuner hanging off the bottom of your gun.
I like the way it looks.
I'm not so sure about it. But
better than your shocker.
My shocker is perfect, shut up. But anyway, so getting back to things that matter, Keegan, let's also talk about the fact that with the M3, it is only rechargeable, versus with the Force, it does take a 9 volt, I think? But you also can.
Double A's.
It takes double A's, and you can give it a rechargeable battery if you want to. So you have the option at least. So that is probably one of the only premium features on this very premium priced gun. Versus with this bad boy, you can both plug it in to charge it, or you can put it on a wireless charging mat. I'm sorry, wirelessly charging paintball guns. That sounds like some space shit. To me, that's what really justifies the price. That's one of the things that really justifies the price of the M3 being in that $1,600, $1,500 range. Again, depending on the anno that you get. But if we're talking comparing guns in a price range, I think for the features that you get, it's going to be the M3.
Yeah, so I just can't get over the feel of these guns. They feel amazing. They feel quality. They feel very well built. You don't pick up this gun and think like this is a cheap gun. You pick up this gun and you're like, wow, this is really well made.
And it makes me
However, with that being said, it is heavy. I mean, both
the
of them
M3
are fairly,
is not a light gun either.
Yeah, both of them are fairly heavy guns, coming in at 2.6. Our scale is still broken.
So we couldn't weigh this one either.
You're looking around the 2 pound mark for the M3. but this gun is just so heavy. Now, the one thing I will say that this has really over any other gun, in my opinion, is the fact that everyone that I've talked to that has used or owned one of these has said that they've never broken a paintball out of it because it just handles paint that well.
It does, and I will verify having heard that as well. I've seen dye guns blow up plenty. It happens. It does happen to everybody at some point, but the Force platform definitely seems to skirt a lot of those issues. How? I don't know, because it feels like a very harsh, poppy shot to me. It doesn't feel as soft and poofy as like this or a Lux, but somehow they seem to always prevail as being able to shoot the most brittle paint in very cold conditions. So I have to give them a credit for that. I really do. But Keegan, I think that's about all I got, man. What about you?
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
All right, well, hey, guys, if you like this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments what you thought or if there's any details that you would have liked us to pick up on. I'll have links in the description so you can buy either one of these bad boys right here from PunishersPB.com, and we'll catch you in the next one.